Hi everyone, I'm excited to share with you what I've been into lately, the Meridian systems in yoga. So the Meridian systems are channels that circulate the life energy through our body, right? So there's a continuous flow. In Chinese medicine, they call it a web or rivers that flow through the body continuously, unifying all the systems. And there's specific organs that each meridian connects to. So the meridians are associated with specific internal organs, which in turn govern specific emotions, right? So by doing the asanas, we can unblock any blockages in the meridians and bring about more emotional balance, basically. So the upper body meridians are what we're going to focus on today, and then I'll do the lower body meridians in another video, and then I'll do the regulatory channels in another video. So the lung and large intestines, the heart and small intestines, so they work in pairs. There's a yin and a yang, and the yin organ is more responsible for storing and creating, harmonizing the energies, and the yang is more about moving it and transporting it and eliminating it, yang, yin and yang. So they correspond. The lung corresponds to the yin, the large intestine to the yang, the heart to the yin, the small intestine is considered the yang, and then the pericardium and triple warmer. Pericardium is yin, triple warmer would be yang. The triple warmer is not actually an organ either. It's basically governs our respiratory, digestive, and elimination processes. So it's the only one that's not specifically an organ. So with the lung, we'll start with the lung because it's a breathing exercise. So I thought that would be a good way to start. And I'll show you what we're going to do. The point where the lung meridian begins is right on the edge, kind of on the edge of the pectoralis, right here. So what I like to do when I may not know exactly where to put the pressure is I just ask my body. I just ask my body to help me find the point. And usually if you feel around, you can kind of oh yeah, there it is. So if you put your thumbs, we're going to put right on the edges of the pectoralis major like that, and just cross your arms in front of your heart. And you're going to put pressure there while we breathe. And we're going to take some nice deep breaths. So it's about the lungs, so it's about the respiratory tract, right? And you want to inhale all the way down. Take your breath all the way down and then really fill up the body all the way up with your inhale. And then we're going to hold it for a few seconds. And on the exhale, you control it and kind of make it slow and steady and really exhale all the air out. And I thought we could add a Mula Bandha to this. So if you'd like, the root chakra or root bandha helps to sort of release pent-up energy in the root and second chakras. So to do that, we'll take our inhale and fill up our body, and then you'll engage the perineum. So you just pull up on the perineum, right, between the anus and the genitals. Just sort of lift up on that, and you'll kind of bring that energy back, send that energy back up to the heart. Right? So each exhale, you can think of sending it back to the heart, and then relax and take another deep inhale. So we'll just do that for a little bit, and you can find your points. I'll sit back on my mat here. Find your points and sit comfortably and sit tall so that your spine is tall, but you're comfortable, right? So you let the energy move. So start with a nice deep breath. So inhaling in through the nose, filling up. You might want to take a couple gulps of air, filling up your body, and then hold at the top for a few seconds. Good. And then feeling the perineum just lift as you start your exhale. Bringing the energy all the way back up. And then we'll relax and inhale. So this is another way, the bandha is another way to connect the yin and yang of the body, right? So the yin and the yang parts of the breath. Good. And so on your exhale, hold for a few seconds on your exhale, lifting up on the perineum, sending the energy back up to the heart. Make sure to exhale all the air out. Very important. And then nice deep breath, inhaling in all the way down, letting the air fill your body all the way up to the chest. Hold for a few seconds. Lifting on the perineum. Sending the energy back up. Good. 2 more. Big breaths. Hold. And engaging the perineum as you exhale. Good. Last one. Hold. Good. And go ahead and let go of your lung meridian points. And between each exercise, just let your breathing come back to normal. So part of the purpose of the breath is to really move that energy through the meridian. So the breath is really important. So you need to breathe deeply and fully throughout the poses that we're going to do, and then sort of relax your breath in between so you don't hyperventilate. So the next one for the large intestine is, I'm going to be standing. We'll need to stand. So first I'll show you the positions of the hands. The large intestine meridian starts in the index finger, tip of the index finger. So you're going to be pulling your index finger back. So I just hold both hands this way the whole time because it's easier. So we're going to start like this, and then we're going to draw the bow, right? So you're going to pull the index fingers back as you pull the bow, and then release. That's what we're going to be doing standing. So I'm going to adjust my computer a little bit. There. And starting with your feet maybe wider than hip width apart, just a little bit. Crossing your arms in front of your heart. Get your fingers ready. So on the inhale, we're going to turn, pull the bow, and then release on your exhale, crossing your wrists in front of your heart. So we're going to continue this for a few more breaths. So inhaling as you open your bow, and exhale, release. Right, so pulling back on the inhale, exhale. So continue this movement with your breath a few more times. So the large intestines are about letting go, right? So you might want to do this when you really need to let go. It's about eliminating, not just physically, right, but emotionally, mentally, last one, and physically, and spiritually. Exhale. On all levels. Okay, release. And let your breathing come back to more relaxed and normal. Here we go. So for the heart and the small intestine meridians, you might need a band or a strap for the small intestine meridian, and you might need a bolster to sit on if you're not able to sit directly on your knees. So if you have those, we'll do some that meridian asanas that are kind of in general for all the upper body meridians. And then some are specific, like we just did the lung and the large intestine are specific to the organs. And the next one we're going to do is more general, but I like it for the heart because it opens the heart. So grab a bolster if you need it, and I'll go sideways here. If you need a bolster, you can sit like this. Otherwise, sit in hero pose, and maybe you're able to bring your ankles and your calves alongside you, which is the traditional way to sit in this pose. But if that's not comfortable, again, sitting on the legs or on a bolster. I just got a little cramp in my foot. Okay. So we're going to just simply bring our hands behind us like this, pointing your fingers away from you. So we put pressure on the wrists, right? And just open the heart, open the chest, and look up and breathe. Right, so you're leaning back into the hands. Nice deep breaths. Nice full, even deep breaths. And you can imagine pulling the air into your heart region, into the heart chakra, into that whole area, and exhaling out the love. So let's inhale the love and exhale the love. So bringing the love into the heart, full breath, exhaling the love back out. And then we'll turn our fingers to face the feet or the body here. Same thing, just lean back on the wrists a little bit, right? Opening the heart, keep breathing. It's recommended, keep breathing as I talk, it's recommended to do these for a full minute. So I'm not sure we're doing them for a full minute because I'm not really timing it, but you can also do these on your own. Yeah. I think we're doing it for approximately a minute. Okay, and then go ahead and come up off of your wrists. And I'll just mention something that I learned because I know a lot of people, I've met a lot of people with shoulder issues, right? On my classes, I've come across a lot of shoulder issues. And I had a frozen shoulder a few years back. I went to acupuncture, and that's where I learned that it wasn't about my shoulder. So I thought, what did I do? I didn't do anything to hurt my shoulder. Why can't I move my arm? And I found out it was about the small intestine. So that's because of the meridian systems, right? And how they connect. And so the acupuncture, they know where to put the needles because there's hundreds of points along your meridian system that will unblock, and release the energy. So that was a real awakening for me. So small intestine meridian, this is a really good one if you have shoulder issues, especially. Well, all of these are, but if you have a band or a strap, and you can bring your bolster in front of you like this to put your head on because you're going to lean forward if you want to make it more comfortable, or you can sit on your bolster and take your strap back here. Now, if you do have shoulder issues and your arms need to be wider, that's fine. Just bring them as close as you can. Or if you're able to clasp your hands behind your back and do this, you can do that too. I like to use a band. So grasp your band or strap if you have it, or your hands, and you're just going to simply lift your arms up. And the idea is to kind of squeeze your shoulder blades together, okay? And they're going to lean forward and just breathe here. So lifting the arms and squeezing the shoulder blades together. It's kind of hard to breathe deep in this position, but do your best. Keep lifting the arms. Keep squeezing the blades together a little bit. Good. And go ahead and come up and release slowly out of that pose, letting the band go. Maybe you're a little dizzy. So, yeah, so the heart and small intestine are about uh, relationships and proper boundaries. The word that is associated with that pair is integrity. And I don't think I mentioned the lung and the large intestine. The word would be acceptance. So it's just kind of a coin word that kind of goes with the meridian pairs that you can think of. Like it's about integrity, right relationships, the joyfulness that comes from doing the right thing. So the next one we're going to do is sort of a one for all, the upper body meridians. Like I said, there's a few of them. So if you want to sit on your bolster like this again, you can, or sit on your legs. And oh, I need to adjust this a little bit. And it's the eagle arm pose. Eagle arms. You can stand and do it too, but I'm just going to show you the arms. So we're going to cross one arm under the other and press your hands into each other. I'll turn like this. You probably know this one if you know yoga, right? And you're just going to hold this position and breathe. Nice and deep and even. And I like to kind of lift my elbows when I do the eagle. Really opens up the back, and also if you want to do this, also you can feel it stimulates your upper arm a little bit more on the side that's crossed over. Keep breathing deep. And you can also maybe pull your hands a little bit away from you, and that is a different experience too. So good, and then we'll uncross and do the other side. So again, pressing your hands into each other, hold this place and just breathe deep. If you want, you can lift your elbows up. You can move it around a little bit if you want. It's a good stretch for the upper arm. Yeah. Maybe move your hands away slightly. Just kind of feel, just move it around. Good, last breath. And go ahead and release. And back to normal breathing, kind of let your body integrate. It's good to take a couple of integrating breaths in between each pose. The next one is a Gomukhasana, or cow face pose in yoga. So I need a band for this. You might be able to reach your hands behind your back. More power to you. Okay, so if you need something, you have I'll show you the back, so in case you don't know this one. Okay, so you're going to go like this. Work your hands towards each other a little bit to a place where you really feel it, but it's not painful, right? And you're lifting that top elbow and sort of pulling your bottom shoulder back, right? Try to find a comfortable place for your hand back there, and just breathe here. Really? So it really opens the shoulder, this one, right? Good. Nice deep breath. So again, this is one of the general upper body meridian poses. Keeping the head lifted. And then we'll switch. So you can let go of that one. Switch arms, switch sides. Your other arm behind you. Work your hands towards each other. Yeah. lifting that top elbow, rolling back the bottom shoulder. Good. And breathe here. Good. Nice deep breath. So breath is really integral to these asanas, right? And unblocking the meridian flow. Good. Last breath. And release. And back to normal breathing so you can integrate. And for the last pair, the pericardium. The pericardium is an organ that a lot of people don't really know about, but it surrounds the heart. It's also called the heart governor or the circulation sex organ because it has to do with sex and circulation and also protecting the heart. So you can kind of get a feeling for what that's about. And the word associated with it is harmony, and the triple burner is the yang of the pair. So the triple burner, like I said, governs the three systems in the body. And yeah, so the pericardium is this one specific for the pericardium meridian. And I'll show you what we'll do. We're going to put pressure on points on this one. So right in the middle of the wrist, right, both sides, that's where we're going to put our ankle bone and just resting on it in butterfly pose. And then we'll breathe for a while and then we're going to move it up 2 inches to there. Okay, so just to show you where to put where the point is, slide your hands under your ankles, feet together. Oh, and if you do need to bolster your legs, you'll need 2 for your knees if you need that. Okay, so if this is not doable for you without support. So bring your wrist right under the ankle bone, right in the center of your wrist, feet together. Right? And I like to lift my feet up, right, and hold them, and that puts pressure right there. So you can lean forward if you choose or not, but just breathe nice and full here. And move it around a little bit if you feel like you're not in the right spot. Speaking of butterfly pose, see my butterfly? I got this at the Philadelphia Flower Show. Isn't it cool? Keep breathing. I was a flower child in the 60s, and now I'm a butterfly child. Deep breath. Good. And then scooch that ankle bone up to about 2 inches. This is a little bit trickier, but if you can, work your feet a little closer to you. And you can also think of pressing your arms into the ankle bone more than pressing your ankle bone into your arm, so you can kind of move your arms more easily. I don't know if that makes sense, and just breathe deep here. A few more breaths. Keep going. Good, and let your hands kind of slide out from under your ankles, and your breathing come back to normal. And then we'll do the final one, which is for the triple warmer. I do this one a lot. You'll notice it in my other videos. And we want to put pressure specifically on the wrist for this one. So we're going to do a platform pose, a reverse plank. If you can with your legs straight, that's great, but if not, you can do it this way. And I do both. I start this way and then I go into the other one because it's hard to hold this position. And it's recommended you do it for 2 minutes, but we won't do it for that long. So take a nice deep breath and placing your hands, whatever is comfortable for you, behind your hips, and then press your hips up. Okay, so try to get your hips level with your body if you can. And then just breathe deep here. Feet can be flexed or pointed, whatever works in this position to hold your body weight. Good. Like I said, we won't do it for a full 2 minutes, but on your own you can. And then what I like to do is after a while, I bring it to this position because it's too much for my knees to hold that other one for too long. So keep breathing. You can also let your head drop back, add more weight. So I particularly love this one. I think it feels so good. You might think I'm crazy. Good. And go ahead and slowly bring your hips down and come on out of that one. So this video went a little longer than I hoped, but like I said, it's recommended to hold the poses for at least a minute each, and that takes a while. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. Thanks, and take care.